Guardian Angels Medical Service Dogs is an organization, we're a nonprofit that train medical service dogs for veterans, first responders, and civilians. We train them to do a variety of tasks, mobility work for people with physical disabilities, PTSD work for people with invisible disabilities, and seizure alert, diabetic alert, things like that.
I would say the majority of people that come through our front door have had multiple suicide attempts. They have been through the therapies and the drug regimens. I mean, we have 22 veterans a day that commit suicide because their disabilities become so encompassing and take everything away from them that they have this tremendous downward spiral that they don't want to exist anymore. So what we do is we change that.
While I was deployed in Iraq, I guess one night out of nowhere while I was sleeping, I ended up just having a grand mal seizure. From there, it just been advanced and hasn't been controlled too much. You know, he's able to just tell whenever there's a sign about to come around. You know, he's just able to let me know with some of his warning signs that he gives me. And again, that's just from what they've taught here. Epilepsy, it's not the only thing I've developed through this. It's a depression side I have as well that, really started taking over because, I can't really drive or work anymore, and I just had a lot of goals in my life. But he keeps me away from a lot of negatives, that I used to have before I had Lamar.
It's overwhelming. It just is overwhelming. I mean, in all regards, not just as, Ed dealing with it, but as his mom, watching him go through that. And, to be truthful, Lamar is almost an asset to me as well. It's like having that extra person in the room with you, even though it's a dog.
The impact that these dogs have on the recipients and their families, there's no comparing it to anything else because they've watched their loved ones suffer for so long and how depressed they can get and how much they change. They're not the same person that they knew. And then once the dogs come into their lives, it's like a switch because the dogs help them so much.
Guardian Angels takes that extra step to make sure that the dog they pair to each recipient is trained specifically for that person.
Good boy!
Watching the pairings, as soon as they get to a certain point close enough to their recipient, they know that's my person. And them putting in that extra effort to really make sure that the dog specifically bonds to that person and can specifically help the needs that they have, it's special.
Everything we do, from raising the dogs to getting more dogs. There's so many people on the waiting list all the time that are people that have disabilities that are looking for medical service dogs. The donors are truly the guardian angels behind the scenes. Without the donations, and it doesn't matter how small it is or how large it is, it adds up over time, and we literally couldn't do what we do and save people's lives without it.
I think it's incredible, the work and the success that we have had here. I love hearing the stories. I keep promising someday I'm going to write a book of all the stories because everyone is unique and impactful. But you know what? It actually makes me want to hurry up and get to the next one. We all work together for a common cause. Everybody understands the importance of what they do. They're not here for a paycheck. They're here because it's a passion. Talk to any one of our recipients that you meet, and they will tell you that these dogs are critically important to their life. I can't tell you how many times people have told me that if it wasn't for their guardian angel, that they would not be walking this earth today.